Cyclone MMA. UFC 271 is in the books. It is done. Israel Adesanya has defeated Robert Whittaker via decision to retain his title. Yesterday had it all. It had shoeys. You had some controversial judging early into the prelims. You had some really, really good performances. We're going to talk about all of these fights right now, from the main event to the early prelims, the first fight on that. So we're going to jump into the title fight right away, and we're going to talk about Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. I see a lot of people hating already on the judges, and I thought there was bad judging last night, but I don't think necessarily this is the one to be complaining about. I checked the MMA decisions where they take all of the media scorecards and put them together. Most people had Israel Adesanya winning 3 rounds to 2. Few people gave him 4 rounds. There were a handful of cards that gave it to Rob, 48-47. I don't think this is a robbery. I'm a huge Robert Whittaker fan. He's my second favorite fighter in the UFC. I thought he lost 3 or 4 rounds. I couldn't tell. Rounds 2 to 5 were very, very close. That's why I think if you did think that Rob won, you can think that, but I do think that Izzy was able to edge it out. Rob was able to score some takedowns. I don't really think he was able to do a whole lot with it. He wasn't able to really hold Izzy there. He took his back a time or two. Other than a few rear naked choke attempts, there really wasn't any submission trouble. Nothing was deep at any point. It was a tough fight for Rob because, Izzy's super long, and he's just such a good striker that you could tell Rob wanted to counter, but Izzy didn't want to commit. Izzy's just smart. He knows how to win. He knows that if he has to make it boring and just throw leg kicks and jabs at range and the occasional kick, he can do that. But yeah, Izzy, it was less like it was not the sexiest performance. Izzy didn't go out there and spark him. Izzy did what he needed to do to win, though, and it's one of those things where you'd like to see more right hands from Robert Whittaker, but again, that's how he lost his first fight, so who knows? That's a good win for Israel Adesanya. He defended his title. I don't think Robert Whittaker is going away anytime soon. I think he'll probably fight some contenders and potentially get a trilogy fight, although at this point I don't know what he can do to beat Izzy, but who knows? Next fight we had was Derrick Lewis versus Tuivasa. Wow. Tuivasa looked... I was surprised he won this. I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't think he had a chance of winning, and he does it. He lands some really, really clean elbows in that second round. I thought he was done in the beginning when Derrick Lewis was on top of him because he can rain heavy ground and pound on people. And when Ty got to his feet and he ate those shots, I was shocked that he was still standing by the end of it. But Tai Tuivasa, his stock just skyrocketed. I'm curious what he's at in terms of Instagram followers, because beating a guy like Derrick Lewis, who's also a big star, just helps you so much. Ty already with the shoey and all these knockouts he's been getting his stock has been rising a lot, but Derrick Lewis is one of the most popular fighters in the UFC, and Ty just knocked him out. He just knocked out the knockout king. Before that, we had Cannonier versus Derrick Brunson. I had a feeling that this fight was going to go something like this. I knew that if Brunson couldn't hold Cannonier down and take him down every single round, it was going to be a messed up night for him. It was. Cannonier's just powerful, dude. Fought at heavyweight. Fought at light heavyweight. Now he's at middleweight, and he's still got all that power. I feel bad for Blonde Brunson, dude. He was able to secure a couple takedowns. Let's see how many. He was able to secure 3 takedowns. He went for 13. He attempted a submission. There was nothing really there, though. But he did rock Cannonier. I think he might have. Yeah, he did drop him in the first round. But it's one of those things where I feel like the wrestling, when you're expecting a takedown and you get an overhand right instead, you just eat it. But yeah, Cannonier's scary. I think he's going to probably fight for the title next. With that being said, I don't really think he can beat Izzy. He could catch him. He's got the puncher's chance. But Izzy's just so good at controlling distance, and I think he'll make it a similar fight to the way that he beat Costa. or even the way that he beat Romero. Just not let him get close, not let him, use his power. Just pick him apart and stay away from him. Yeah. The fight before that was interesting. Alexander Hernandez versus Renato Moycano. Moycano kind of became a star, dude. Like, DC went to ask him a question. He just grabs the microphone, starts talking. He wanted, like, a fight bonus, which he didn't get. He wanted people to follow him on Instagram, which he did get. I think he passed 100,000 followers, and he had like 80,000 or something when I checked. So he gained a solid following in a night. So that's cool. He got, the submission victory in the second round. He had Alexander Hernandez in a lot of trouble striking wise in that second round. The first round was pretty close, but I think Hernandez edged it if I remember correctly. But he definitely took he won in the second, so no shit. But that was a fun fight. I expected high things out of that one, and I got a solid result. Fun, entertaining fight. Next, you had the lightweight matchup between Bobby Green and Nasrat Haqparast. Nasrat has a chin, dude. He just kept coming forward, his guard up, kept swinging, even though he's getting pieced up by Bobby Green. Bobby Green scares me when I watch him fight because he just does the shoulder roll, and his hands are never up. His hands are absolutely, positively never up. And I feel like it's just going to take one hook to land on that chin. That's just going to rock his world. But he's fought really good guys and hasn't really been finished all that much, at least recently. Let's see here. What do we got? But like he fought really good against Fiziev, didn't get knocked out. He knocked out Ali Quinta. Thiago Moises is a solid fighter. Yeah, he doesn't really... Has he been knocked out? Let's see. He's been knocked out twice, but he's had a lot of fights, actually. 41 fights knocked out. Oh, make that 42 fights. Knocked out twice. So it seems like the chin is holding up. His defense is like surprisingly good for someone who holds their hands down like that. But he pitched a shutout. He looked really, really good. He just pieced up Nasrat for the entirety of that fight. He's talking shit during it too. So that was interesting. Before that, we had the prelims. Andrei Arlovsky, he beats Jared Vanderaa. Andrei Arlovsky's still doing it. He's still coming away with the wins. It's crazy. I think he won like 4 out of his last 5 or 5 out of his last 6 or something like that. It's crazy the revamp he's made in his career. Before that, we had Roxanne Modafferi versus Casey O'Neill. Modafferi choosing to not really go for takedown. She did go for 1, or I guess she went for 2 and got 2. But the majority of the fight was standing, and her jab was landing, but you can tell she just has zero power. Casey O'Neill was going off. A good send-off fight for Modafferi. One of the judges gave her, and I should talk about that real quick, because a judge gave Jared Vanderaa the fight, which people thought Arlovsky won pretty clearly. I thought Arlovsky won. And then in this fight, Casey O'Neill clearly won every round. And one of the judges gave Roxanne Modafferi the fight, which is, how can you do that? It's just crazy. I don't know how you can do that. And I'm pretty sure it was the same judge who gave Vanderaa the W, but or tried to give him the W. Yeah, Roxanne Modafferi, a UFC legend, has been around forever. Has done a lot for the sport. I wish her the best in her retirement. Casey O'Neill was not afraid to be the villain. She's undefeated still. And she got booed a lot. And she just accepted it, and she, flipped people off in a very, Ali Quinta way. So that's cool. Kyler Phillips looked really, really good against Marcelo Rojo. His striking, his grappling, everything was just put together. Rojo is a warrior. The dude took a lot in that fight and just kept coming. I think that might have been his first UFC fight. If not, it's like his second. Let's see here. Yeah, that's his first UFC fight, and they gave him a guy like Kyler Phillips, so respect. That's a tough matchup for your first time in the UFC. I think Kyler Phillips is going to be ranked soon. I think he was ranked momentarily, but he is looking really, really good. We have Okay, Carlos Ulberg versus Fabio Charant. This fight was the one that was the most irritating to me because Ulberg was like so like coy, and Charant was just afraid to throw. Which every time he did throw, he got a reaction and he got Ulberg backing up. It's just one of those cases where he didn't listen to his coaches. He fought a little scared, and I don't blame him. He's fighting in a cage, but he just didn't do what he needed to win. It looked like he kind of gave up and just let the guy, you know, tag him here and there just so he would lose a decision rather than, chance getting knocked out or something. The early prelims were actually really, really fun. The Mana Martinez fight versus Ronnie Lawrence was crazy. Ronnie Lawrence was just destroying Martinez. And then in the last round, Martinez catches him. And he's wobbly. He tries getting the finish. He can't quite do it. He gets taken down again and starts getting grounded and pounded. But what a fun fight. Because I was like, this Martinez guy has no shot of winning. Like, after 2 rounds of watching him just get completely destroyed, and then he lands that shot. It reminded me of like Leon Edwards versus Nate Diaz, where Diaz was getting destroyed the whole fight. Last minute, he almost pulls away a victory, but doesn't quite do it. Good stuff. Then it was AJ Dobson versus Jacob Malkoon. Malkoon is Rob Whittaker's teammate. Fights in the same gym, I'm pretty sure. Pretty confident in that. But his wrestling's really good and his cardio is crazy. He was relentless when it comes to the takedown. AJ Dobson was kicking his ass on the feet. I'm not going to lie. Like, he looked a lot better on the feet. But Jacob Malkoon was able to take him down 6 times. He went for 16 takedowns and was able to just grind out a decision. A hard-fought victory. Not the sexiest fight, but he did exactly what he needed to do to win. Before that was this was the fight of the night in my book. Douglas Silva de Andrade versus Sergey Morozov. Wow. Douglas got knocked down in the first round, and he got hit hard. He had a big cut on the side of his head right by his eye. They couldn't really fix it between rounds. He looked like he was done in that first round, and then he comes back strong, gets a bunch of knockdowns of his own, ends up getting a submission victory. Just crazy. A really entertaining fight. Super enjoyable watch there. Then we have Jeremiah Wells versus Mike Mathetha. That's definitely not his name. I'm just going to call him Blood Diamond because I think that's what he prefers to go by anyways. Blood Diamond, first fight in the UFC, 4th fight ever. I don't know. I think just because Izzy probably put the good word in for him because he's of the same gym. But Blood Diamond apparently had like a successful kickboxing career, but Jeremiah Wells did this weird shit at the beginning of the fight where he tried running around the cage and he tripped within 5 steps and went down. And then it's like, okay, we're fighting now. Wells went for a takedown right away, secured the takedown, and from there he just rode on the guy. Got some solid ground and pound in, but then, forced his will and submitted him. That guy went completely out too. Blood Diamond did not tap. He got choked out, as well as Morozov in the fight before. These guys, you got to tap. It's like 2 people in a row just get knocked, or not knocked, but choked unconscious. And I'm like, guys, tap. But yeah, good win for Jeremiah Wells, fighting a prospect like that, someone who's supposedly really, really good in kickboxing and just taking his wrestling and neutralizing it and making it a non-issue. But yeah, Jeremiah Wells is looking good. He's got 2 victories in the octagon now. Yeah. And beat Warley Alves before that. So two like kind of names, to be honest. Not that Blood Diamond's super popular, but you could tell he was getting some hype. A lot of people were interested despite him being so fresh in his MMA career. Then before that, it was William Knight versus Maxim Grishin. William Knight missed weight by like 12 pounds. So I think Grishin got like 40% of his purse. And then Grishin just took it to him and got the W. So Grishin he's going to be eating good late in the near future. He just got a lot of money. And, grinded out a W against a very powerful fighter. So, yeah, it was an interesting night. some takeaways. Bad judging. I don't know the name of the judge. I might do a video on it, but I also don't want to like ruin some guy's career. Not that this video has that, kind of draw, but it just would feel weird just shit talking someone like that. Like, I know I kind of do that, but it's usually in a joking way. This wouldn't be in a joking way. But yeah, bad judging. I don't know who that judge was, but holy shit, dude, you got to get your shit together. Because it did seem like he was just like, I like this fighter better, so they won. Roxanne Modafferi, I love her too. She's cool. She didn't win that fight. You know she didn't win that fight. Just because it's a retirement fight doesn't mean you give her the rounds. It's BS. Michael Bisping was annoying. I just barely did a UFC commentators tier list ranking video. I haven't uploaded it yet. But I said Michael Bisping was good. He's making me change my decision. He was so biased in yesterday's fight. And I don't think that he wanted like Robert to lose the fight, and that's why he was being biased. But he made the fight seem like Izzy was completely destroying him, which wasn't the case at all. It was a very close fight. Rounds 2 to 5, you could have scored for either fighter. They were so close. And the fact that he was just saying like Rob wasn't doing enough and was losing this fight and lost every round is just crazy to me. I'm glad DC was there to at least neutralize that and be like, hey, shut up. I don't know. I don't like it really when the commentators score the fight anyways. Judging a fight is like, you can't be talking and being analytical while you're doing that. Meaning like, if you're commentating, you're commentating. You're not judging. If you're judging, you're judging. You're not commentating. They're two separate jobs. They should be done separate. And if you're talking about something and commentating on it while you're watching it, you're not absorbing everything you would be if you're, quiet or silent watching and then really breaking down everything. Because they're like having a conversation with the other commentators. You can't judge a fight like that. And that's why it's like, I don't know. Sometimes you have to watch stuff twice too. Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. It just bothered me. It's like, I agree that I think Izzy won the fight. And I'm not trying to be salty Robert Whittaker fan. But it's not really his place, especially as a last-minute replacement, to just be trying to tell people who he thinks won when it was very subjective for 4 rounds. And to be so confident and sure that he's right. It's just annoying. I don't know. It's not the kind of commentary I like. I like a little bit of suspense. Like, I don't like being told exactly who's winning. Like, let me put the pieces together. If I see a guy getting rocked, I can tell that he's losing. Yeah, not my cup of tea. I really like this fight card, though. I did watch every single one of these fights, which I haven't done in a long time because that's like 7 hours worth of watching people fight each other. I'm excited for UFC 272, where we'll have Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. In the Dos Anjos versus Fiziev fight, got moved to that. That's the co-main. Solid card there. I'll probably be talking about that soon. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, buy some merch, t-shirts. Pretty cool. Support the channel. Peace out, guys. Amanda Nunes versus Megan Anderson.
Amanda. Duh.
Next, we got Artem Lobov. We're going to stick him right up at S tier. Just kidding.